Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel once more. I know this is a sporadic appearance, I don't have much time to explain really why I was away from the channel for a lot of time, almost 2 years. I haven't posted properly on this channel, but job restrictions require that I don't post on this channel. I don't have much time really to dedicate to the channel, but I'm here and I'm back, and this is a video that's been in my chest almost for a while. I wanted to express myself about Bayer Leverkusen winning the Bundesliga. It felt like the biggest story in Europe. It seems like finally everybody's eyes are turning to the Bundesliga to see how the Bayern Munich dominance is going to end after 11 long years as Bundesliga champion. It ended in a style, and Bayer Leverkusen did it in such a convincing fashion that you just cannot help but like and admire. You see the scenes in the stadium in the Bay Arena, storming the pitch after the fourth goal in their game against Werder Bremen. They didn't even wait until the game is over. 10 minutes was still up on the clock, and they were storming the pitch. I was so happy to see Bayer Leverkusen transform that bad luck into good luck and channel it into one of the most wonderful seasons any German club probably will ever have, and I hope they end it in a treble, because it's such an epic end and such a convincing end, such a very romantic sort of poetic justice in the way that it happened. Of course, Bayern Munich been champions for 11 years, and finally they seem to find their match in Bayer Leverkusen, who are absolutely tremendous. They had a wonderful season domestically, 25 wins, 4 draws. They didn't lose this season, and they have such a strong defense as well, which is one of the biggest keys to winning trophies in general. Of course, credit goes to where it's due, to Xabi Alonso, to the players. Some of them have been sort of rejuvenated. I think you look at someone like Granit Xhaka coming from Arsenal to Leverkusen at the start of the season, and at the summer it looked like an end of a career kind of move, where just like go to Leverkusen and just play some minutes and have an ineffective role of some sorts. But here we are, winning the Bundesliga title with Leverkusen, hands down the best team in Europe. I don't think there's any other team in Europe that has the consistency of Bayer Leverkusen. Not City, not Arsenal, not Real Madrid, not any other club in Europe had the consistency of Bayer Leverkusen domestically and on the continental front. They're still in the Europa League strongly. They won the Bundesliga. Probably they're going to win the DFB Pokal, bar a upset from Kaiserslautern in the final, but they look like they're set to win the DFB Pokal. And definitely with Liverpool most likely out of the Europa League, they look like the team that has the most suitable tools to win the trophy, and that is going to be another cap in the feather. Xabi Alonso is clear and adamant. He wants more trophies, he wants more success, and he deserves it. He really turned around the ship for that club from October 2022, where they were fighting relegation. They were 17th in the Bundesliga, and now here they are, April 2024. They are winning the Bundesliga by 16 points margin over Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, by the way, in the 11 years that they won the Bundesliga back-to-back, they never had such comfortable margin. Bayer Leverkusen broke every sort of imaginable conception you had about the Bundesliga. We saw Bayern Munich win the Bundesliga in the last 11 years in all sorts of ways. We saw them lead the charge, we saw them escape away with it, we saw them come from behind at midway through the season. They'd be like 4th or 5th, and they come back and win the Bundesliga at the end, and the other teams almost like make way for Bayern to win the Bundesliga. This season it was different. Leverkusen were there, they were consistent, they were sharp, they were always ready all the time, and they didn't just win it, they absolutely stormed their way through the Bundesliga, including Bayern Munich, and beating them 3-0 in the Bayern Arena in a game that honestly, upon rewatch, upon remembering that game maybe, and recalling how it went, probably should have gone 5 or 6-0 for Bayer Leverkusen, and it should have been a really strong nail in the coffin. I mean, it was a nail in the coffin in the end, but I felt maybe it could have been more emphatic. Now we look at it retrospectively. Leverkusen again, lots of factors that made them the team that they are this season. The coach, the players, the atmosphere, the consistency of the football they play, the intelligence of the football they play. Xabi Alonso really drilled a system in Leverkusen that could be useful for years if they build upon it really well. Of course, the follow-up is important. It's as important as the success that they're having right now. A local double will be close enough with the DFB Pokal. Of course, the European stage is where they're going to be needing to prove themselves. Bayer Leverkusen once more. They don't have that much of appearances in big stage on the European level, but they definitely will make the best of what they're going to do this season, and I hope for them that they win the treble and they turn their fortune around. They went from Leverkusen to never losing. I think all people who are old enough to remember the 2001-2002 season, where they lost the Bundesliga, the DFB Pokal, and the Champions League final in like the space of like 10-15 days. It was ridiculous. But now I think it's the other way around. They win the Bundesliga, then they're going to win the DFB Pokal, and pretty much they're close to win the Europa League. Again, a lot of factors in play here. The coach, the players. I don't want to name all the players, but I think everybody knows by now the focal points of the Bayer Leverkusen squad. You look at the defence, you look at someone like Jonathan Tah, Adilon Kusunu, an AFCON winner with Ivory Coast, but definitely a great defender on his own right. You look at the middle, Robert Endrich is doing really well, and I'm really looking forward to see him in the Euros with Germany. Florian Wirtz as well in the middle is a player, I mean, best player of the season, I think, hands down, and also a man who I'm waiting and I'm anticipating to see with Germany alongside Jamal Musiala. I mean, that duo is going to be amazing if it clicks really well. Victor Boniface, it's a shame that he missed the AFCON with Nigeria. He could have been a really big difference, but with Leverkusen, he was a really big difference, and he made most of his appearances this season and scored enough goals to help contribute for their Bundesliga title charge. You have Grimaldo, you have Frimpong, you have Tella, you have Granit Xhaka, who rejuvenated his career, as I said, with Bayer Leverkusen in a way. It's an unbelievable complete understanding between the players and the coach, and the transformation of ideas and the understanding that they have for the game, and the ability to adapt to different scenarios this season. We saw all the scenarios that you can think of with Bayer Leverkusen. We saw them coming from behind. We saw them dominating games. We saw them grinding results. We saw them defending when they need to, counter-attack when they need to, dominate the ball when they need to, pushing opponents into their own half when they needed to. If you look at the game against West Ham, for example, in the Europa League quarter-final first leg, they pushed West Ham so hard into their own half. They were defending like with 10 players literally in the box. That's how good Leverkusen were at that. Again, adaptation to different systems, to different scenarios of the game, one of the biggest strengths of Leverkusen this season. And with Xabi Alonso staying at the club, the players might be staying at the club as well, and that could be the start of a really good project with Xabi Alonso and Leverkusen. A wake-up call maybe for the Bundesliga clubs to just change their system and definitely try to do it better, and think Leverkusen did it, so could we. We could do it to Leipzig, to Dortmund, to Borussia Mönchengladbach, to Frankfurt, to any team we think of that wanted to charge at the Bundesliga title at one point. Even Stuttgart, they're doing really well this season. Maybe with some improvements, they could win it next season. And I really hope that happens, because even as a Bayern fan, I might be greedy, but I think Bayern should focus more on the European level. Not to say that they don't need to win Bundesligas, but I think try to rebuild a squad that could lead on the European level and win multiple Champions League and dominate. Maybe that's more necessary than winning the Bundesliga this season, but that's not what this is about. This is about Bayer Leverkusen. They really deserve all the credit in the world. Again, the scenes when they were celebrating the Bundesliga title are absolutely heartwarming. If you haven't seen them, please go check them out. They stormed the pitch after the fourth goal. They didn't even wait. They were so passionate about winning the Bundesliga, so happy about it. And after being denied a lot, after being almost in obscurity in a way, after languishing in the mid-table, barely playing Champions League football, sometimes most of the time they play Europa League football, now they find themselves at the top of the Bundesliga. Next year they will be playing Champions League, and they will be playing it from a position where they can say, we can go far in this competition actually, and we can have ourselves a great season on the biggest European competition. And that's just the joy of football for a neutral fan is to watch teams that deserve to win, deserve to make achievements, deserve to have success, get their credit and get their success. Congratulations to Bayer Leverkusen. Congratulations to Xabi, to the players. They really have been impressive. They did so well this season. They deserve every bit of success they have. I hope, one final thing, I hope I really return to posting on this channel more often, hopefully closer to the Euros. I'm going to get the opportunity to be dedicated more to the channel and post regular videos on a normal schedule. But for the moment, thank you for listening. Subscribe anyway, regardless of how limited my appearances are, but I think you should subscribe to keep me motivated so I can post more content on the channel. And again, hopefully by the years, I'll be returning to posting regularly. For the moment, thank you for listening and goodbye.